Hello, and welcome to our webinar, Fantastic Fall Series Nonfiction. I'm Julia Smith, Senior Editor, Books for Youth at Booklist. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a section for Q&A. If you have a question or need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box that appears. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we'll pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Also, Booklist offers closed captioning on all webinars. To enable or disable captions on your screen, please look for and click the live transcript icon on the toolbar mentioned above. From there, you can select Show or Hide Subtitles from the menu that appears. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of the captions at any time by selecting Subtitle Settings. Last but not least, links to today's slide presentation and title list were included in the reminder email you received from Zoom 1 hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links located there. You can also download the slides and title list by copying the URLs on this screen into your web browser. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Catherine Camisa, Marketing Director at The Child's World, Kelly Mullen, Sales Manager at Bellwether, and Kim Bernard, Regional Vice President, Business to Business and International Division at Teacher Created Materials. First, we'll hear from Catherine Camisa. Catherine has worked in children's publishing for over 10 years. She's a believer in the idea that every child is a reader if you get the right book in their hands. Take it away, Catherine.
Thank you, Julia. And thank you for everyone for being here today. I'm so excited to share the Child's World's new titles for the fall. For those of you who may not be as familiar with the Child's World, we've been publishing books for schools and libraries since 1968. We focus on series fiction and nonfiction for grades pre-K to 8. And our goal is really simple. We want all young children to enjoy reading educational books. And, this season we have 5 brand new series and 1 continuing series coming out. It's a diverse mix, all coming out August 1st. And so I'll just go ahead and get started. The first series I want to share with you today is our Celebrating Holidays series. This is an 18-title set. It's written at a 2nd grade reading level with interest from grades K to 3. These are 32-page books. All of the titles available are in reinforced library binding or as multi-user ebooks, and that is true of every single series and title that I'll talk about today, so I won't keep mentioning that, but just so you're aware. This series focuses on how holidays are celebrated or honored in the United States. Each book in the series includes the story of how these traditions started and why they are important to our lives today. Here's a look at all 18 titles. As you can see, the holidays represented are diverse and explore some of our best known patriotic, religious, and traditional holidays from Christmas to Independence Day to Valentine's Day. The books are fully illustrated, which have some really great, fun, colorful images inside. And every book contains an author illustrator bio, phonetic glossary, index, and table of contents to help aid in readers' comprehension. Here's a peek inside Celebrating Cinco de Mayo. The chapter shown obviously is discussing the holiday's origin and why it is an important day. And every book has a similar chapter inside it. There are informative captions and sidebars throughout every book. They are denoted in bright, bold colors. For instance, these bright yellow circles are acting as those fact boxes, while of course the green rectangular on the right-hand side of this page is for the caption. And these features offer fun or other relevant facts that are related to the topic. These books are packed with enhanced back matter, including activities after reading questions, as well as songs or poetry affiliated with the holiday. Here's an example from Celebrating Mother's Day, and it highlights the Poetry Corner, which is, of course, a poem that is related to mothers and Mother's Day. These features are an exciting new way for readers to engage with the text, and each book also contains suggested websites and sources for further learning so kids can dig deeper. This is just a wonderful, innovative series that encourages readers to discover more about the holidays that they celebrate, as well as those that are honored by peers and neighbors. The next series I'd like to feature is the Traditions Around the World series. And while this series shares themes with the previous one, this series really explores the history and meaning of the around traditions, but the focus is more on the diversity of how these traditions are observed in various cultures. This is an 8-title set written at a 2nd grade reading level, interest K to 3. These are also 32-page books. As you can see, the traditions explored and covered are sometimes more holiday specific, such as Christmas or Halloween, or they could be more like important days or rites of passage, such as birthdays or tooth traditions. Each book contains full color photographs and illustrations. Each page or 2-page spread discusses how the tradition is honored in an individual country. Here's a chapter from Birthday Traditions Around the World, and it showcases how birthdays are celebrated in China. A map shows where in the world the celebration or holiday takes place, and it gives readers the greater context or understanding of the geography in the world around them. And every time a new location is discussed in the book, there is a map that corresponds. A phonetic glossary is included in each book, and the glossary terms are shown in bold text as a clue to the reader. And as I said, each page or spread features how a tradition is honored in one place, but sometimes a tradition is celebrated similarly in 2 different areas. Wishing trees are important in both Wales and Cyprus, and as you can see, the map is showcasing and pointing out how the 2 different places and how they have similar experiences. Each book also features a hands-on project or activity and a representative song or story to help kids celebrate. So this is just a great series that makes learning about shared experiences fun and exciting by using our familiar traditions as the reference point. And now I'll talk to you a little bit about our Tall Tale series, which is a very fun set. There are 8 titles. It's written at a 3rd grade level, interest K to 3, 24-page books. Tall tales thrive on exaggeration and embellishment, making them some of our nation's most cherished creative stories. Readers will learn about 8 different folk heroes or heroines, from Calamity Jane to John Henry to Pecos Bill, and each book covers the story of one tall tale. Each book is fully illustrated with vivid, lively images that match the engaging text. As you can see, here's a look inside the title John Henry, and as you can see, the illustration is an action shot showcasing what is happening at that point in the story. And then there's another example from this series, and this is from Molly Pitcher. And it gives you an idea of the text load and illustration style that you'll see throughout the series. Each book also features a Beyond the Story section, which provides information about the origin of the tale, along with historical context. So kids will read the tale, and then they'll also learn what parts of the story are more fact-based and those that might be more embellished. There is also an introduction to the author and illustrator included in each book. And kids will just love learning these larger than life tales retold in charming, humorous ways. The next 2 series I want to introduce are both great high interest series. The first one is Gross Out Books. There are 8 titles in this series. They're written at a 4th grade reading level. There's interest grades 3 to 6, and these are 24-page books. And, we all know that kids love gross things, the ickier, the better. And these books tap into kids' fascination with yucky things, but still presenting plenty of facts about the 8 topics covered. And these books act as great teaching tools to help kids learn about their bodies and the world around them. It has that really great high interest hook. And so these are perfect for high, low, or struggling reluctant readers. And the topics range from gross stuff in our bodies to our homes and to even in our schools. And here's a peek inside gross stuff in your body. One thing I really love about this series is that each chapter has a chapter title that is fun, or often features a play on words like "you've got a lot of nerve." And this is, of course, a chapter on the nervous system. And the illustrations and photographs that fill the book, really depict the facts described. Inside each book, a phonetic glossary also helps readers learn unfamiliar words. And here's an example from Gross Stuff in Your Garden. And it really shows and breaks how the descriptive text is broken into easy to read facts, making the text more manageable. Again, that can really relate for and work for struggling, reluctant readers. Each book also features a table of contents, an author illustrator bio, sources for further research, and suggested websites to aid in comprehension. So no matter what your readers are curious about, whether it's those creepy crawly bugs or furry green stuff that grows on food, sometimes they will find what they're looking for in this Gross Out book set. And now I want to switch gears and talk about our new college football team series. College football is watched by more than 50 million people each year, and this series covers one of America's most popular pastimes. There are 12 titles in this set, written at a third grade reading level, interest 3 to 6. These are 24-page books. From national championships to legendary coaches to traditions and players, every college football team stands out in its own way. This series focuses on 12 teams, and so each team has its own book, though maybe we'll add some later. The cover and interior design both incorporate the team colors, making the books bold and eye-catching. Each chapter focuses on a different aspect of the team, such as history, players, or traditions. Here's a peek inside LSU Tigers, and the chapter, of course, is showcasing recent superstars, and you have like that great action shot there. And you can see traditions are the main focus on this Texas Longhorns chapter shown. Brightly colored fact boxes are included. That's on, and you can see how that looks. It's on the right-hand side of the page. That big rivalry orange box is the fact box. And these fact boxes give exciting details to the main text. Historical photos are paired with full color action shots, giving young fans an enticing glimpse into what makes the team special. This series is sure to be a hit with football or sports fans alike, as well as curious kids who love learning facts and figures because they're just packed with great nuggets of information on each team. And the last series I'd like to present today is actually a continuing series. It's the Black American Journey. We published 12 titles in January, and we're adding 12 titles to the set. It'll be 24 pages. 24 books. These are written at a 5th grade level with interest grades 4 to 7, and they're 32 pages each. Geared toward upper elementary and middle school readers, they're perfect for kids straddling reading levels and try to get them to that next level up. This series is packed with vintage and modern photographs that bring both the subject's frustrations and victories to life. This collection honestly portrays African-American people and events that have forever impacted our society. And this series contains a mix of biographies such as John Lewis and Coretta Scott King, as well as important facts such as Brown v. Board of Education and the racial justice movement. The interiors have a bold, fresh design that mimics the front cover design. And here's a glimpse inside the racial justice movement, which examines the activism and the ongoing fight for racial justice in the US. There are informative sidebars in each book, and you can see on the right-hand side of this 2-page spread shown, this is from Brown v. the Board of Ed, and that darker red box is the sidebar. And these sidebars highlight more historical context or offer additional information to the topic presented in that chapter. Each book also contains critical thinking questions for readers to think deeply and thoughtfully about what they've read, and to engage more fully with the material. A timeline also features important moments related to the event or the details of that subject's life. And this series has been really well reviewed in both SLJ and Booklist, with the Tulsa Race Massacre receiving a starred review, Booklist calling it timely, effective, and important. And I think that that stands true of the entire series. It was one of our best selling for this year so far, and the 12 new editions are certain to be just as popular. And thank you all so much for being here today to learn about the Child's World's new series. My contact information is on the screen. So if you think of any questions afterwards, please feel free to reach out to me after the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Now we'll hear from Kelly Mullen. Kelly feels very lucky to be able to sell best-in-class nonfiction books for beginning, struggling, and reluctant readers. She finds it so rewarding to hear from customers that they can't keep Bellwether books on the shelf, and that even the most reluctant reader gets excited about their titles. When the libraries are closed and she's not driving her kids to hockey, she enjoys spending time with her husband and 2 boys who are constantly asking her to bring home more books. Welcome, Kelly. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the great introduction, and I'm so excited to be here. I'll be giving you a high-level overview of Bellwether and our new fall titles. And we're going to start with Bellwether Essentials. They're high-interest content and engaging design, which to us equals high circulation. And just like I referenced in my introduction, I hear from librarians all the time that they can't keep Bellwether books on the shelves. They actually don't even bother shelving them because they just get checked out so quickly. They're extremely consistent, which you'll see as we go through some of our new titles as well. We submit everything to be leveled from ATOS, GRL, and Lexile. We create books that kids love and educators need. We are well reviewed by Booklist, among others. We feel like we have a great library classroom connection. And don't forget about the lifetime guarantee on our books. If you have any very well-loved Bellwether books that are not holding up anymore, just let me know, and we are happy to replace those for you. Next is the highlights for our season of 21-22 school year. This will be our biggest season ever with 138 new titles, and that will be spread across new series and some extended series. We have a new state profile series that'll include 52 titles and up-to-date 2020 census information. We've done new series on high-interest topics from ghost and survival stories, disasters, presidents, and paper airplanes. We've extended some of our very well-reviewed and popular series from animal battles, dinosaurs, few biomes, etc. They're all going to be packed with that great nonfiction content that you've come to expect and love from Bellwether, with the infographics, the maps, timelines, charts, experiments, activities, and diagrams. And finally, our premium in-house design for all series ensures a high standard of quality control. Moving on to our Bellwether imprints, starting with Blast Off Beginners, and we will finish with our Express Makerspace imprint, and we have new titles in all of them. Next. Welcome to the Blast Off universe. We're so happy that our Blast Off universe was completed with our new imprint Beginners last year. Readers will start their Learn to Read journey with our Blast Off Beginners titles. Then they'll move on to our signature imprint Blast Off Readers that will build reading stamina and comprehension across advancing levels. And then finally, they'll keep the fluent reader momentum going with Blast Off Discovery. Next. First up, our Blast Off Beginner imprint, designed and leveled to support first-time independent reading experiences. Next, our first new series is Too Cute, with 6 new titles. They'll have simple, predictable text and cute, colorful photos that will support students just starting to read on their own. Next. Readers will learn basic facts about each baby, including their favorite foods and how they play. Next. Features will show the animals at each stage of their life, newborn to adult. This series simply is too cute. Next up is an extension of Animals in My Yard. What animals do you see out your window? I don't think outside of the owl I would like to see any of those outside my yard. But the titles and features that will be included will have labeled diagrams and food graphics to reinforce content. Next. And as you can see, the Blast Off Beginner titles are formatted very similar to give the reader a consistent reading experience. Next. They'll all have that bright photography and crisp white backgrounds. Next. Another extension within Blast Off Beginners is Machines with Power with 4 titles. Engines roar and wheels will turn in this fun series that is filled with exciting facts about different machines, engaging beginning readers. Next. Features will include labeled diagrams for the machine parts and examples of the machines in action to reiterate the facts from the main text. Next. And next. Moving on to Ocean's Animals extension, which will be 4 new titles. The reader will dive in for an underwater adventure. Next. This series will introduce amazing undersea creatures to beginning readers while helping them gain confidence in reading. Next. Closely matched text and photographs will aid in the comprehension as well. Moving on to our Blast Off readers, which again I like to call our signature imprint. It's a leveled imprint designed to guide beginning readers through each state of their journey toward fluency. Next. They're leveled against 3 reading levels. You'll start at that kindergarten, first grade level and brings you up through 3rd grade. Our first new series in Blast Off readers is Responsible Citizenship. It's going to be a level 1 reader with 6 new titles. Young readers will learn all about how to be responsible citizens in this low-level series. Next. They'll have narrative openings to present scenes of the activities, simple text that tells the importance of responsible citizenship. Next. There'll be compare and contrast features that highlight the importance of the activities, questions that prompt the reader to think further about the activity. This series will empower kids to make the right choices. Our next new series is Backyard Birds. Again, still level 1 with 6 new titles. Backyard birds have busy lives. This beginning series will help young readers learn all about where they live, eat, and how they survive. Next. Call bubbles will show off the birds' song and how they talk to each other. Next. Food graphics will highlight the bird's diet. Family features introduce closely related birds. The next new series is American Presidents with 10 new titles. We've moved up to a level 2, which will be more of that 2nd grade reading level. Who has been the commander-in-chief? Readers will learn about some of the most well-known presidents in American history. Next. There'll be timelines that highlight key points during the president's time in office. Maps that show where they were born. Next. Profiles that will offer facts such as term length, political party, vice presidents, fun facts like favorite foods, books, hobbies, and there's also questions to prompt readers to consider how experiences prepared the president for their role. Our next extended series is Animals of the Coral Reef with 4 new titles, still at a level 2. Coral reefs are among the busiest biomes on Earth. Next. These warm water habitats are full of animals specially made to thrive in the reefs. We'll learn about how these animals adapt and survive in their habitats. Next. There'll be features will include their diet, conservation status, and they'll have labels to identify their physical adaptations. Animals of the Forest, another extension with 4 new titles. And again, like the Blast Off Beginners, as you will see that these biome series will have a very similar look and feel format, giving a very consistent experience to the reader. It will explore the forest biome and the animals that live there. Next. Readers will learn how animals are specially adapted to thrive in the forest. Next. And again, the great photography and facts. Next. Another new series, now moving on to level 3, is Our Planet Earth with 6 new titles. Readers will learn about each landform, what is unique about them, and what plants and animals call them home. Next, special features will be diagrams and landform profiles. Next, and sidebars that will list ways in which the landform is changing from our human activity. Moving on to our next imprint, Blast Off Discovery, which is going to be our highest level imprint of a 4th grade reading level. Next is our brand new state series, State Profiles, with 52 new titles. So excited for this series. I believe it's the newest state series in the market since about 2013-14. And if you have seen our country profile series, it's going to have a similar feel to that within our Discovery imprint. So get ready for a road trip across the United States. Next. These titles will all have a narrative opening that welcomes you to the state. Like I referenced, the up-to-date 2020 census info. Next. Features will highlight local inventions, favorite sports teams, favorite recipes, maps of the state's top landmarks. Next. A special feature in each book will be, it'll highlight a Native American culture in each state. Next. And sidebars will highlight current and future challenges facing the state. Get ready to discover what makes each state great. Next. And next, moving on to Epic, which is our high interest, ultra low reading level. That's going to come in at about a 2nd grade reading level. We have our new series, Global Ghost Stories, with 6 new titles. This chilling series introduces reluctant readers to spooky ghost stories around the world. Next. There's a narrative format that will teach about the elements of the story. There's maps that call out where each ghost story takes place. Next. There's an Is It True feature that encourages critical thinking about possible explanations. It's just a fun, spooky, high-interest series. Next. We've extended the World of Dinosaur series, which has been a top seller for the past few series as it continues to get extended with 4 new titles. It's a high-interest series that explores the lives of dinosaurs and what drove them to extinction. Next. This will be filled with fun facts like Giganotosaurus was the size of 4 hippos, and the word means giant southern lizard. Next. There'll be era maps that show how the world looked and when they were alive. Next. And modern-day maps on where they have found the fossils. Torque is our next imprint that's up, and that'll be a 3rd and 4th grade reading level, again, still a high interest imprint. And our first new series there is Deadly Disasters with 6 new titles. In this high-low series, reluctant readers will learn about both historic and recent natural disasters. Next. They will learn how they came to be and their impact on the world around them. There are narrative openings that will tell the real-life stories behind the disasters. Next. And they'll have maps that highlight the area affected by the disasters and timelines that talk about how the events unfolded. Another extension within Torque is Animal Battles with 4 new titles, and this has been a perennial top seller. It's an all-out brawl between some of the nature's top predators in this high-interest series. In each title, there is an action-packed narrative scene that imagines a fight between the animals. I can tell you this series is definitely one of my son's favorites. Next, there'll be profiles that offer stats on height, weight, and habitat, range maps that show where they live. Next, sidebars that highlight the physical advantage of each animal. Reluctant readers will love their front row seat to action with this series. Next up is Black Sheep, our graphic novel imprint. The first new series, well, the only new series we have in this is True Survival Stories with 6 new titles. These books will all have narrative dialogue bubbles. Next, and you'll see here on this slide that actual quotes are in red text, and that is used to help survivors tell their own story in their words. Next, timelines will visually lay out important events in the story, and maps will show the journey of each survivor. Our last new series is in Express, which is our makerspace imprint. Next, it is going to be a paper airplane series called Take Flight. They will have the step-by-step instructions that you've come to expect from a makerspace book. Each title, which makes this kind of unique that I really like, is increases in difficulty, which you can see noted on the covers here. They go from novice level 1 up to master level number 6. Next. There are going to be sidebars that offer ways to experiment and customize their planes, making them faster, stylish, or more stable. Next. Next. And that is it for our fall series. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. We are offering a 10% off your order when you order directly from Bellwether for participating today by just using the checkout code Booklist Fall. And please let me know if you have any questions or thoughts or feedback. We love to hear from you. And thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Our final panelist today will be Kim Bernard. Kim's educational career began as an elementary classroom teacher before she became a school administrator, where her expertise lies in the areas of school improvement, intervention, and instructional coaching. Kim spent 15 years in the domestic US working for McGraw-Hill Education. And in 2012, she joined Teacher Created Materials as an academic officer, training teachers, administrators, and sales managers. Kim returned to management in 2015 and has had the honor of leading a diverse team of vibrant individuals that promote teacher-created materials in business-to-business channels worldwide. Teacher-created materials develops innovative and imaginative educational materials and services for students worldwide. Everything the company produces is created by teachers for teachers and students who make teaching more effective and learning more fun. Please welcome Kim, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and welcome everyone. I am Kim Bernard, and it's my pleasure today to present our newest published series, Civics. Go ahead and one more. This civic literacy series we will explore today was created in collaborative partnership with Civics. This advocacy group was founded by Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Let me give you a little bit of history just in case you're not aware. Justice O'Connor was the first woman to serve on the US Supreme Court. And over the course of her career, she grew increasingly concerned about a growing lack of understanding about our system of government. She discovered that civic education had been disappearing from schools across the country for decades. And when it was taught, it was often dry and uninspiring. When she retired from the Supreme Court in 2006, she began working to change this. And in 2009, Justice O'Connor founded iCivics with the goal of reimagining and promoting civic education for the next generation of our citizens. Next, she believes that tomorrow's citizens need guidance, which is why TCM and iCivics join forces to create this iCivics series that truly supports Justice O'Connor's ultimate vision of civics education. It's important to first understand the foundation of this series. The books in iCivics are designed to meet the needs of civic educators today. This series intends to cover a wide range of civic topics, from global citizenship, 21st century civic skills, to civic issues today and change makers. Each grade level of iCivics will cover these same important civics topics in grade appropriate ways that will allow for our core beliefs that the road to literacy is paved with content. I'm going to use this third grade reader titled Civics Duty, Working Together, to highlight some of the great features of these books. Something notice and love about iCivics is that we introduce and explore civic issues that are relevant to kids' lives today in a way that is accessible to all learners. But when you look at the way civics duties is explained in this book, you will see that it is related to the interwoven threads of a tapestry. All the threads join together to create a beautiful work of art. Civic duty is like that. Each person is like one of those pieces of thread. When you do things like serve on a jury, vote, or serve in the armed forces, you are performing civic duty. And when woven together, it helps to serve the greater community. The fact is, TCM has designed each iCivics book to allow the reader to understand these very tough topics in such a relatable and easy to understand fashion, from kindergarten all the way to grade 5. Another very cool aspect of iCivics is TCM has fictional stories embedded within nonfiction text. Now, let's remember, to be college and career ready these days means that kids must be able to integrate ideas across text for a more comprehensive understanding of themes. So, to be clear, iCivics offers paired text within the same book to meet this important college and career readiness standard. So, what does this really look like? Let's revisit civic duty working together and check out the embedded fictional stories in this book to help you understand what I mean by this. So here we are. This fictional story is about a boy named Ali. Ali has a problem. He's late to school, a lot. This particular morning, Ali is running late again, and this time it could cause him to get kicked off the track team. As he's running as fast as he can to school, Ali suddenly sees his elderly neighbor, Mr. Patel, lying in the middle of the road, and a car is coming. Ali makes the quick decision to step into the road, wave his yellow backpack, and get the attention of the approaching car so that Mr. Patel won't be hurt. Now, after helping Mr. Patel get out of the road safely and onto the sidewalk, Ali knows that he is definitely going to be late to school. This series will provide the reader with opportunities to take an abstract concept like civic duty and make it relatable to themselves as they encounter these fictional characters. So, in this case, the reader asks themselves, how did Ali show his civic duty? And then as they get back into the nonfiction text, they will be asked how they can show their civic duty. Now, the kids will also learn about famous historical figures who rose above their own personal challenges to do their civic duty. People like Helen Keller and Jackie Robinson. And they'll learn about famous people today, people they can relate to, like Greta Thunberg. Again, this concept of civic duty is very abstract for kids. It's something many of them feel is, really for adults. But they learn about this young girl, their age, who became passionate about climate change and began doing small things, like sitting outside government offices in Sweden with a simple sign that read, "School strike for climate." And people listened. So much so that she became Time Magazine's Person of the Year in 2019. This is what we are trying to get kids to do. Learn about what they can do to help their community and get involved. So you might be asking, who cares? Well, this educator shared with TCM, the fiction inclusion is such a great resource to link fictional and informational reading on similar themes and topics. This feature is not seen often and is so appreciated. I usually have to try to find this on my own. And folks, as a fellow educator, I can't agree with her more and attest to the countless hours I had just in trying to find content that would correlate. So research tells us that an effective way to engagement is to make learning active rather than passive. And in iCivics, we've embedded opportunities right here. Through the civics and action pages at the end of each book, the opportunities it will give the reader the opportunity to define problems in their own community, brainstorm and plan action steps to enact solutions, and create meaningful service activities that demonstrate their civic responsibility. In addition, you'll find elements of the books that support literacy, of course. Things like opportunities to practice their speaking and listening skills through these think and talk icons, or the read and respond questions that allow all readers to respond within their comfort or experiential level. And that'll be found at the back cover of each of our books. Now, all of this reinforces TCM's core competency with the majority of almost all of our amazing resources. And that is the road to literacy is paved with content. The iCivics series is available starting this month with grade 3 pubbing in July. It's already here. All levels of iCivics will have 10 titles per level. In August, you'll find grade 2. Again, look at those 10 great titles. As we move into September, you'll find 10 new titles for grade 1. And October will finish up this year with 10 titles for kindergarten. And our grades 4 and 5 will be coming out in early 2022. So I want to thank you for your time and efforts. And that's all for us right now, but we hope you will enjoy our iCivics leveled books. And to thank you for joining us today, we'll be sending you an email next week with a link to download Civic Duty Working Together. Thank you again on behalf of Teacher Created Materials. I want to encourage you to look at iCivics, and we enjoy the support that we can give the classroom and the library. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim. And it looks like we have wrapped up our presentations a little early today, which means we have time to take audience questions. So if anyone has a question for our presenters or about a series that they saw today, please enter it now in the Q&A box. Let's see. We'll give these just a moment to come in. Looks like we have one question specifically for iCivics. iCivics kindergarten level has dollars and cents shown twice. Is there another title there?
There is. I have to look it up. I can get back to that, that participant. It never ceases to amaze me. We can have many eyeballs on the same edit and still miss one.
So yes.
I'll get back to her.
Very good. In general, can people order individual titles from series, or do they need to be ordered as sets?
They can be ordered individually. Absolutely, individually.
All right. Is that true for our other publishers as well?
Yeah, this is Catherine from the Child's World. That is true for us. You can order the complete set or individual titles.
And this is Kelly with Bellwether, and that is true for us as well.
Excellent. I was wondering if any of you also offer sort of an online component to your series. I know that is sometimes offered by publishers.
This is Kim Bernard from Teacher Created Materials. Each of our titles comes in an ebook format, and that is either in a PDF or an EPUB 3.
This is Kelly with Bellwether, and all of our titles also come in either ebook format or print format as well.
Okay.
And this is Catherine from the Child's World. Same here. And we also have a research assistant online. So that can be found on our website that corresponds to different books that anyone can type in a question and get more resources.
Very good. Looks like we have one about whether the series are also in Vox Books or Wonder Books. I personally am not familiar with these platforms. But
yeah, I'm not sure for Bellwether.
Okay.
For TCM, I'm going to enter no. I'm not familiar with those platforms.
Same with the Child's World. I'm not as familiar. I'm not familiar with our being included in those.
Oh, okay. They're Wonder Books are read-along books. I see.
Okay. We don't have any read-alongs for the Child's World.
Bellwether has some, and I know I recognize Vox Books. I'm not sure. I feel like we have some, but again, I don't know the specifics and how many.
Teacher Created Materials has read-alongs. I would need to research if iCivics is included in that right now, but you can find our read-alongs through any of the outlets that you're using through the library.
Very good. We do have a good question about, this was specifically about the state books, but people can speak more broadly about offerings in Spanish.
Oh, good question. Not yet. I know Spanish is on our radar. Bellwether does not have any titles in Spanish yet, but I will relay that question along to say that that could be a good avenue to start with.
All right. And I know Teacher Created Materials does have some Spanish series, yeah?
Yes, most definitely. And I believe iCivics is on the plan, but it will probably be in 2022 that you'll see the Spanish.
All right.
But we have many other titles in Spanish, many, many, many.
Fantastic. Let's see. Science and library pricing. Is that for all public libraries?
Yes, it is for Bellwether.
All right. And I think that's generally the case for all of these. Back to foreign language editions. Are there any other plans or current offerings in languages other than Spanish and English?
Bellwether would be a no. Right now, I think Spanish would be our first one up, which I do believe is coming down the pipeline.
Same thing with the Child's World. If we do anything next, it would be Spanish.
All right.
Yes, same with TCM.
Okay. Well, I think that kind of gets us where we need to be. I really appreciate you guys taking some time at the end of this to talk to all of us. Your presentations were wonderful, and I'm very excited to see more of the books themselves from all these series. I'll just finish up now with a little bit of housekeeping. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones like those you see here. As you may already know, July is Graphic Novels in the Library Month here at Booklist. And even though the month is almost over, there's still time to celebrate with even more webinars and author illustrator panels, a Read Graphic sweepstakes, podcasts, and our Guide to Graphic Novels issue, which is free and open to everyone on booklistonline.com. For the complete list of this month's festivities, including links to everything mentioned here, please visit bit.ly/GNJuly2021. Not yet a subscriber to Booklist? Pair the print reading experience with convenience of online access at booklistonline.com and lock in print, online, digital, and archive access by taking advantage of this special webinar offer to get Booklist for only $75. Thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. And one more huge thank you to our panelists and our sponsors, The Child's World, Bellwether Media, and Teacher Created Materials. This concludes today's webinar. See you next time.